This is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk about my 5 predictions for 2021. If you're interested in learning how to make money in both bull and bear markets, or you just want to see what I'm trading or investing in, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Before I start, I should say that I'll be taking the next couple days off to put the finishing touches on a Kindle book that I just wrote about Bitcoin. If you'd like to get your free advanced copy of this, and if you're willing to write an honest review on Amazon, you can just click in the link in the description notes below. It's just Trader University /Bitcoin book. You'll get an advanced copy. This hasn't been published yet. You just scroll down here, put your email in, and I will send you a copy if you agree to write an honest review of the book once it's published on Amazon. Getting a lot of good reviews, or just getting a lot of honest reviews on Amazon, is obviously really important to promoting a book. So let's jump right into the predictions for 2021. Bitcoin is going to hit $200,000. I tried to come up with a conservative target here. For some people, this will seem too low. For some people, this will just seem like pie in the sky. Bitcoin typically goes up 10x from its lows during each 4-year cycle. I think Bitcoin can conservatively go, well, the lows really from this cycle, call it 3,000 or 4,000, which suggests that Bitcoin could hit $300,000 or $400,000 in this cycle. I think things are very accelerated this time around because of the huge wall of institutional money that is headed toward Bitcoin. I'm coming up with this number. I'm applying a slight discount to the number that Plan B comes up with in his stock to flow cross asset model. Or if you scroll down here, he has a price target of 288,000 sometime between 2020 and 2024. So this current halving cycle, I think we get there much faster than a lot of people believe, simply because of the huge amount of money that has to find its way into, it's a little bit like that old Russian fairy tale where the animals squeeze themselves into the hat and the hat becomes bigger and bigger. It becomes sort of absurd. This is a very similar thing. In addition, there's a very good chance that there'll be an easy solution for the retail investor in the form of a Bitcoin ETF. There's currently no Bitcoin ETF. There's the GBTC, the Grayscale Trust, which is fairly high fees. I don't like it. I prefer to hold Bitcoin directly. But once you have a Bitcoin ETF, whether it's VanEck or some other company, you will have a very easy way for RIAs and other financial advisors to allocate some percentage of their clients' portfolios into Bitcoin. I think this time around, one of these ETFs will be approved. The Winklevoss twins tried to do one a couple years ago, but there wasn't really a deep, robust futures market back then. There wasn't the same institutional interest and ways of hedging in terms of having a couple liquid futures markets and options markets as well. So I think this time we do get there. A lot of people may not know this, but if you look at Bitcoin as a financial services company, it's obviously a payment system. It's a little bit like a bank in the cloud. Bitcoin has the largest market cap of any of these. It's ahead of Visa, it's ahead of JP Morgan, MasterCard, etc. And it's scraping up against, it's about to exceed Berkshire Hathaway as well, which I think is a good form of poetic justice for someone who called it rat poison. Now, related to the Bitcoin prediction is obviously the continued central bank inflationary monetary policy. A lot of money printing coming simply because we have such huge budget deficits. There are a lot of impaired assets out there. For example, commercial real estate is a really big one that is just very much dead in the water. So I'm predicting here that the Fed balance sheet will surpass 12 trillion. In terms of dollar growth, that's more than it did this year. This year it went from about, call it 4.1 trillion, hitting new highs in the last couple of days to 7.4. Percentage-wise, this wouldn't be quite as much, but I do think we can get there as the Fed continues to print, continues to have to monetize this huge deficit spending that's going to be coming out of Congress, both in the way of continuing COVID relief and also in the way of just having to, the central bank having to buy more and more of these impaired assets, otherwise huge risk to the financial system. Obviously, if they do buy these impaired assets, as they have been doing, junk bonds, etc., that creates huge currency risk, which is one reason that it's going to be even easier to get to 200,000 on Bitcoin. Dan Tapiero has a great point here in his tweet, looking at the M1 money supply, most important chart of 2020, range bound for 50 years, and now 69% year on year growth. And here we can see just completely off the charts money growth. If you're enjoying this video and finding it useful, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Third prediction, XRP drops to 2 cents. I want to say it's going to drop to 0. There'll probably always be some residual demand for junk like this. Even crazy penny stocks often don't go to 0, but they just bounce around. Currently, XRP is around 21 or 22 cents as I'm recording this. All the capital flows from the US are rapidly drying up. Coinbase has suspended XRP trading effective mid-January, along with a lot of the other big exchanges. Binance US just announced that they would do it, as well as Coinbase is now being sued for allowing the sale of XRP. So there are going to be a lot of people throwing XRP under the bus. I've had commenters tell me that buying XRP is like buying shares in the original Federal Reserve. Still clearly a lot of delusional XRP holders. So this is one that I think the SEC is really going to make an example of and take them to the cleaner. So I think once you get rid of, obviously this can still be traded in other countries, but it's going to be very difficult for Ripple Labs to get any external companies to want to partner with them after this SEC investigation. Hopefully some of these executives actually spend jail time as well. But I think the really big thing here is that when you no longer have blood flow going to this particular limb, the limb is going to be amputated. And all the US exchanges are rushing to amputate this limb as quickly as possible. So if you're still an XRP holder, I don't think that's a very good idea. Very, very dangerous thing to be holding. I think that the big tech stocks, the FAANG stocks, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, plus Microsoft, I think these stocks remain range bound. This is typically what happens with stocks in general, and especially in tech stocks. We can see that in 2017 and early 2018, Amazon had a really big move up, appreciated, and then went into a multi-year sideways holding period. I think we saw something similar, a sort of permanent repricing higher in terms of everyone now ordering their groceries online from Amazon and Whole Foods, etc. All the other people who never had an account with Amazon now opening it up because they're spending more time at home and hiding from the virus. So I think that we've had a permanent repricing in Amazon, but I wouldn't be surprised for all these FAANG stocks plus Microsoft to just see some sideways motion. It's too early to tell whether there'll be more serious antitrust actions taken against especially the big four tech ones. But either way, I would suspect that these stocks kind of go nowhere in 2021. They bounce back, they drop down to their lows since June of 2020, and then maybe they test the highs again, but they really go nowhere. It remains to be seen what this means for the stock indices themselves. Obviously, the FAANG stocks are a big percentage of them. We could still see a rally, certainly in the NASDAQ, in the QQQs, where we have sort of a rotation into smaller software names, small being relative, still tens or hundreds of billions, but rotation away from these multi-trillion-dollar companies, as well as the backdrop of Bitcoin really sucking out store value from real estate, from gold, from stocks. That is going to be a constant for the coming decade or two, where a lot of the store value money makes its way into Bitcoin and leaves more traditional stores of value like gold, real estate, and possibly these sort of large tech stocks as well. Finally, last prediction, housing and home improvement stocks continue to do really well. I wanted to flesh out this list a little bit more. We can definitely approach this in the new year. Restoration Hardware, I forget what it's called now, RH, Sonos, Wayfair, Home Depot, Lowe's. I think a large percentage of people will never go back to the office. It's actually quite nice working from home. That's what I've been doing for the last 15 years or so. And it's nice as long as you have a separate space, you have a decent office setup. And so I think that a lot of the money that may have been spent on getting a good car, for example, to commute to work, or spending on suits or dress clothes, etc., may instead be spent on in-house upgrades, home office upgrades, in addition to people, if they can afford it, moving to larger homes where the kids can be doing online school in one part of the house while the parents do their jobs in two separate home offices. So I think this is a trend. This is a multi-year trend. I'd much rather be long these stocks and short commercial real estate, not actually short commercial real estate as a position, but as a macro, sort of a macro trend that you're better off betting on this trend continuing. I heard from someone, I can't remember who it was, but that housing prices in the Hamptons are up 50% this year. So you're definitely, I think, we'll continue to see price appreciation, especially in the more expensive neighborhoods, as people begin to work more from home and begin to look more for sort of a home refuge away from just the crazy things that can happen in this decade, including future pandemics. Again, if you're interested in getting a copy of my new Bitcoin book, just click that link in the description notes below, and you'll be taken here, and you can put in your email and get a PDF of the book emailed to you in exchange for agreeing to write an honest review on Amazon when it's published. I hope to publish this book sometime next week. There'll be a paperback version and eventually an Audible version as well as the Kindle version. Hope you all have a very good, best wishes for a prosperous 2021. I'm going to take a couple days off. I'll be back on Monday. Hope to spend the next couple days putting the final touches on this book. But wishing you all a healthy, wealthy, prosperous, and blessed 2021. Thanks a lot for being my viewers this year. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate the high caliber of your comments, and I appreciate you showing up every day to watch my videos. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the new year.